On this video, I'm going to be showing how to sell a DVD VCR Combo Player on eBay for a profit. Step one is sourcing. You can go to like a Goodwill, a thrift store, whatever you got. I'm at a Goodwill and I noticed this unit has an HDMI out port, so it tells me it's probably a newer model. So what I'm going to do is look up the model number. So it's DVR 620KU and it's a Toshiba. So pull up the eBay app, type in the brand plus the model number, and it will show you what is listed. This is known as comping it, getting the comps. So it's just pricing the unit. So type it in, type the brand in, type in the model number, and it'll show you. This starts with the what is listed. So you want to pay attention to the number at the bottom. It says show 156 results. So that's how many is listed. And if we scroll down, click on the sold, and we see show 309 sold. So if you take that 309 sold and you divide it by the 156 that are listed, and you times that by 100, that will give you the sell-through rate. So this is almost a 200% sell-through rate, which is really good. Anything over 100%, it's really good. Chances are it's going to sell very quickly. So now I'm just looking at the sold prices. So we've got a 139 plus shipping. There's one parts only for $36, 159, 149, and I'm liking what I'm seeing. So this one was only $8.99. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick this up and take it home. Okay, so once you found the item that you're gonna sell, the VCR, the one that's for the right price point, and you've done all the comps and you picked it up, once you've done all that, you can bring it back, and this is when the real work starts. Like the buying of it, that's the easy part. This is when it gets hard. So first things first, you want to have, if you can, make like in a little area. I've got this little TV that has the AV hookup and HDMI hookup as well. So a nice small one, nice little area to work with, makes it a lot easier. Before you even hook it up to the TV, just plug it in. And hopefully it lights up. You'll see some lights come on. You want to turn it on. You'll get usually you'll get a message like it's saying load DVD right now, which is a good sign. A couple things you can test. And if you can test it at the store, if you can plug it into an outlet, that's really the best, because then you can test at least that this works, the disk drive. So if that doesn't work, I mean, I wouldn't even pick it up at the store. So just do that a couple times, and out, kind of stop it, go back and forth, push it a bunch, because you got to think whoever's going to buy it, you don't want them to try this and it break for them. You want it to break for you, not for them. Test that works. You want to, when you're at the thrift store, if you don't already have one, grab a VHS tape. It should be pretty cheap, 99 cents usually. So just grab any random one. This is Parent Trap, starring Lindsay Lohan. It's a pretty good movie. Watched it all the time growing up. There probably is some people that haven't used a VHS tape. It'll always have the arrow. Put it in that side first, and you want to just kind of slowly push it in, and at some point it'll take it in automatically, and it'll start the process. And just listen to it, make sure it's not making any crazy noises. And here you can already see it switched over to VCR mode. And then once you got that, you can see it's running, the time's going. That's good. A lot of them, the buttons are like, there'll be like a flap that comes down or flap that comes up, or they'll have the buttons right on front. This one's a nice little thing that pulls down. This side's for the VCR, this side's for the DVD. You have all the buttons. To eject a VCR, a lot of them won't say eject. It'll be with the stop. So you hit stop, and then you hit it again, and it comes out. And then you want to make sure that it's not all wound up. It didn't destroy anything. You can press this button on the side to flip this back. Look at that. Make sure it's not like tore up or destroyed. So now that we know that at least it's functioning, we can plug it in and test it that way. Okay, so now we want to plug it in. The safest thing to do is first power it down and unplug the power cord from it, just so there's not anything moving inside, and you move it and it can scratch something or mess something up. So I'm going to be testing it. So this one does have HDMI, but I don't have a cable right now. I'm going to still test that later. We're going to be using these, I think they're called composite, AV composite. They're, you know, yellow, white, and red. The thing to pay attention to this is we have in and we have out. So in means it's going from one thing into it. So like if you wanted to hook up another DVD player and record from that, or even like a satellite DVR type thing, you would plug that into this and you can record from that. So we're looking for out. We want this to go, we want the sound and the picture to go out from the VCR. So very simple. White, plug it into white. Red to red. Yellow to yellow. And you take the other end and do the same thing. On TVs, there's usually only the in, but you can still see that says in. Sure, push it all the way in, make sure everything's secure. If you had plugged this into the wrong side, nothing would happen. If you plug it in the component, I don't think anything would happen either. That's like a different, it's the same 3 cables, but they're just different colors. I think it's a little bit higher quality. And there is S-Video, which is, I think S-Video is a step up from this and a step up from component. It's like the one that was before HDMI. So once everything's plugged in, plug in the power cord. I always like to let it sit a second. Turn your TV on. And you can try, let's try the VHS side first. So throw in your VHS tape. There you go. Let it run. You want to test out fast forward. Working. Rewind. It goes very slow. And then the other thing you want to test out, play. So you stop it and then hit rewind or fast forward, and it'll go very fast, forward and backwards. And you just let that run. Check out the time. The timer, it all depends on when you start playing it. So it's like if you start at the beginning of the movie, it'll match the run time. But if you don't start at the beginning, it'll show a negative. And you let it rewind, and it takes a long time to rewind. Back in the day at Blockbuster, this is what we used to have to do before we returned our VHS. Be kind, rewind. It's going pretty slow. So you can just hit play. I'm not gonna wait the whole time. Make sure the movie's working. Press these other buttons. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I don't know what these other buttons do. Alright, so we got that. Pause that. Now we're going to check out the DVD side. Open that up. I've got Goosebumps, The Ghost Next Door. Try to use like a clean DVD. Just pop that in there. Let it load. It might switch automatically. If not, there's a button here that'll say, this says VCR, DVD, select, and you'll just push the one and it'll switch it to the other side. So now it's in DVD mode and it's going to load this DVD. You can see it's giving us the timer, title, chapter. I'll let it load. I don't have the remote for this unit, so you can't really skip a lot. So this one, since there's no remote, I'm going to mention in the listing that I would think it'd be a good idea that they buy the remote before they have this, because if not, if you put a DVD in there, you have to watch the entire previews, coming attractions, and that seems pretty terrible. You just want to take your time, use it, switch between VCR, DVD, whenever you can. So this one you can't, well this is running, so I have to pause it and then hit it. So the only thing is, on the recording, to test the recording, you have to have a blank VHS or blank DVD. And I think even some of the DVDs have like some sort of copy protection to where you can't even copy it. Alright, so it's tested as much as I can test it. I'm not going to get a blank VHS or a blank DVD to test it out. Everything else is functioning, so I don't see why the recorder wouldn't function. As long as it gets shipped safely, it should be alright. So the next step, once everything's tested, remove the DVD, remove the VHS tape, and then you're going to clean it. So this one is pretty good condition. I only pick up things that are relatively clean. I don't want to spend a lot of time dealing with it. I just got some simple, these are like alcohol wipes. I'm just going to wipe it down, take all the stickers off. And just wipe it down. I wouldn't use anything too harsh. I mean, on the metal, should be fine, but I wouldn't use any crazy bleach or any harsh chemicals like on the screen up here, anything like that, because that can take off the protective coating if you use something too harsh. So just clean it off, wipe it down as best you can. The better it looks, the more money you're going to get. You don't have to do this part, but like I said, the better it looks in the pictures, the quicker it's going to sell, the more money you're going to get. And just as simple as that. Next step, taking pictures. The easiest way to create the listing is to just go onto eBay, search for the item, type in the price, the model number with the brand, and go to the listings and go to the sold listings and look for a sold listing that is similar to the item that you have. So what you can do is scroll through, find one that has a nice clean title that matches yours. So I'm looking for one, since mine doesn't have the remote, I don't want it to mention the remote in the title. So I find this one down here that's sold for a good price, $124 plus shipping. And I'm going to click on it, and then I'm going to click sell one like this, and it'll automatically curate this draft so you can just start taking pictures. Alrighty, starting to take pictures. I always do them in square. Start out with a wide picture that shows everything, and then you can kind of turn it to the side. Take a side picture, flip it around to the back. Picture the other side. And then always take a picture of any damage. Like really show it off good. To really show the condition. What I wish I would have done is take a picture when it was plugged in to show that it works. I could plug it in now and do that. I'm not gonna. And there you go. Once you got enough pictures, let them load. While they're loading, condition, used. Make sure this is all good. Features, HDMI. You don't really need to fill out any of that stuff. They recommend you do, but you don't. Description, you can add in whatever you want. Here I'm going to say small wear. No, that sounds weird. Somewhere on the top of the unit. Item is tested and everything works great. Pricing, I never do an auction except, I don't know, I don't think I would ever do one. I can't wait that long. So pricing, I always do buy it now. Sometimes this pops up where you can see how other stuff was priced. Sometimes it's accurate, sometimes it's not. I'm probably going to re-look at all the information before I officially list this. Shipping, we'll get into that in a second. And then your preferences, we do 2-day handling time just because on an item like this, you got to find a box, you got to package it, and it's a lot of work. Sell faster, so this is promoted listing. Probably not going to do, I think everyone usually does, most people do like 2% at a minimum. I think I'm going to do that for this. Actually, I'm not going to do any for this because as we saw, there was like 100 listed and 300 sold, so they're selling pretty fast. So I think it's going to be okay. Require immediate payment? Yes, definitely. All right. So the shipping, this is going to go, I believe UPS ground. It's going to be the cheapest way. I don't see UPS ground on here though. Oh, gotta go up. Standard services, UPS ground. And then I'm going to go weigh this real fast and make sure that it's the right weight. So that's the weight. 9 pounds, 6 ounces, 7 ounces round up. It's going to be a lot of packing, so I think it's at least going to be, I don't know, 10 and a half, 11 pounds. Okay, so it weighed 9 pounds, 6 ounces. So I'm going to go with, after packaging, probably 11 pounds. I think why it's so much is it's 20, 20, 20. You got a tape measure? Okay. So it weighed 9 pounds, 6 ounces. I think it's going to be around 11. It says 20, 20, 12. Let's measure it real quick. 17, 11, 4. I think it's going to be more like 20, 15, 5, maybe 6. Alright, let's see what that does to the cost. Okay, brought it down a lot. So it was just too huge. So I think 15, it's probably going to be like $30 for somebody to ship it to them. So I like that. UPS ground. And I'm not going to use these numbers when I ship. This is just for the calculated shipment. So you can either do free shipping, which I never do. I like to know exactly how much the shipping is going to be. Some people say that free shipping is the way to go, that a lot of people are so used to it because of Amazon, and they'll filter out anything that doesn't have free shipping. In my opinion, and how I look at stuff, and how I look on eBay, is I sort from the lowest price. I don't filter out free shipping, because somebody could be selling something and it's closer to me, calculated shipping, so it's going to be cheaper.
It's going to be cheaper.
It's going to be cheaper because of the shipping cost. So that's why I always do calculated shipping. So the pricing, all right, let's go back. So if you go back, it'll save this draft, so we can go back to it. So we're going to go back and just look at some sold comps. I do like to filter it to buy now only, because a lot of auctions they go lower. So we've got $59 plus $45 shipping, $139 free shipping. So that has a remote, parts only, remote. Maybe I ought to buy a remote for it. They're only like $10. So here's one, no remote, $99 plus $14.28 shipping. Here's another one, no remote, $108 plus shipping. So it's looking like $99 plus shipping. And I think it's going to sell pretty fast. Alright, so we're going to go back to selling. Open up the draft. We're going to put in price. $99.99. Offers. I don't think I'm going to have offers on right now. Sometimes I will, but I think something like this, it's going to sell for what I want it for. And maybe if it sits a while, I'll turn on offers. But that's it. I mean, make sure all the pictures look good. You can double check those. Make sure the title looks good. I think I'm going to add to the title, I'm going to put dash tested in the title. I don't need any more of those, because sometimes you can get in trouble with the specifics. You put the wrong thing in and somebody can say it's a item not as described. The category is good. Got a description. The price is good. The shipping is good. Got all my preferences. And so that's good to go. So I'm going to hit list your item, and it's going to list. What's today?
Thursday.
Today's February the 16th. I just listed that. It's 1 o'clock. So we'll see how long it takes to sell. That'll be the next part of the video. is when it sells and I pack it up.
What was that?
That would be crazy if it just cha-ching. Latest update. I decided after watching the footage that it definitely needed the remote. So I ordered a remote. It was $10, free shipping. It's an OEM remote, so it's a Toshiba remote. Goes with the player. Tested it, works. Originally I had it listed for $99 plus shipping. With the remote, I bumped it up to $149.99 plus shipping. And I listed it, I don't even remember when, probably like March the 10th, and it sold March 15th for full price. It sold for $149.99 plus shipping. So total, they paid $178.86. And after fees, the net proceed that I'll get is $153.05. So now I'm going to ship it. So out of that $153.05, the shipping costs will come out of that. So it'll be, I think it's going to be like $30 to ship. $25-$30. Because I did find a nice double-walled box. And I'm going to load it up. Because something this expensive, and VCRs are really fragile. So you don't want anything to happen to it. It's better to pay up, ship it right, do it right. Pay for shipping supplies if you need to. Buy a nice box, find a nice box. Use a lot of bubble wrap and some other things that I'll show here in a second. And yeah, pretty excited to get it shipped. So here we go. So the first step is bubble wrap. I've gone this way around it and gone around it the other way as well, kind of all the way across. And then now I'm going this way again, and I'm also taping. I'm also taping the bubble wrap kind of tight, putting it in place, folding this over, taping it. You want to tape the bubble wrap to it, not to the VCR, because you could leave residue. But once you wrap it around, you'll tape the bubble wrap to itself and kind of get it a little compact, just so it won't come loose during shipping. I like to wind up the cord, put one of these plastic ties on it, and then separate. I'll bubble wrap it and then tape it to it. So I've got the cord taped to it, bubble wrap on that. I've got probably 4 layers of bubble wrap. You could just throw this in a box and ship it out like that. It'll probably get there, maybe, but I don't think that's worth the risk of it getting damaged and then having to deal with the return. So I'm going to take some more steps to secure it. So I've got just a pool noodle. I think you can get these at like the dollar store, maybe some craft stores. But if you can get them at the dollar store for like $1, they're pretty good. And then I'm going to cut it so it fits on the corner, and I'm going to tape this to the corner. Alright, got the bumpers on. Now I want some that go like across this way. And this is what I have left. So I'm going to do this. Got this cut up. I'm going to attach 2 on each side like this. Just give it a little, create a little distance there. And tape that all together. Probably a piece of tape around it, and then start putting it in the box. Alright, I've got it all taped on there. Looking pretty crazy. Looks good. I'm going to throw it in the box and see how it looks. So here's what it's looking like in the box. Like I said, this is a huge box. I wish it wasn't as big, but like if it was a little closer this way, a little closer this way, not quite as tall, but I think I'll be okay. I got this box for my work, and inside the box there was some of this bubble wrap and some of this paper. So I'm going to use that as well and fill the spaces, and then show you in a second. So here is what I ended up with. There was enough to go. There was enough bubble wrap to go each side, that way and that way. And this is like good bubble wrap that I think it's like never pop. It's pretty nice stuff. So got the paper, it's filled in. Not much movement. Little movement's okay, and it's not jam packed. If you don't have like styrofoam, you do not want to jam pack it, because then if it's too tight and somebody crunches the box, it's just going to crunch your thing, because there's not enough bounce back. That's what the bubble wrap does a little bit. But so we're gonna close this up and tape it up, and then I'll get dimensions and weigh it and see what we got. I've taped up the box. If you're reusing a box, even if it's already got good looking tape on it, reinforce the tape that was already there. You don't want to trust somebody else's tape. If you're reusing a box, again, rip off all the labels. Make sure there's no labels or any weird marking. A little bit here and there is fine. Like there was something like that number on it, that's fine. Once you got it all in there, flip it around, move it around, get comfortable with it, make sure it feels good. Alright, got it all in there. I've handled it. That's a good word for it. Handle it like somebody would that's shipping it. So move it around, shake it, feel it, see how the item feels in the box. Make sure everything's reinforced. Some people will say do like a drop test on it, like lift it up and drop it. You could do that, I guess, because I mean it's definitely going to get tossed when they ship it. Like, don't pretend it's not. It's going to get tossed. They'll toss it as much as they want. Like, this isn't a crazy heavy box, so they're going to toss it. Just, yeah. I would say be comfortable with thinking that you would do a drop test. Like, imagine if somebody dropped it from a standing height or a little toss. Imagine that's going to happen to it. If you don't think that your box is going to survive that, I probably wouldn't ship it. So now I'm going to weigh it, get the dimensions, and then ship it. So if you're watching this video, I'm sure you might have noticed I forgot to do something critical. Gah. So don't forget to put the remote in before you seal it up, because now I'm going to have to open this back up and then retape it. Gah. It's fine. It's fine. Alright, so I've put the remote in there, taped it back up, and I thought of another tip that I always do. Find this seam where the box is on a corner and tape across it, tape down it. Don't trust that that's going to hold, especially if it's something heavy. And then really just tape it all up. Now we'll ship it. Alright, so I'm here to ship it. I've already weighed it. This is the information I had in before. 11 pounds, 20, 15, 6 box. That's what it was used to calculate their shipping cost. So the scale said 14 pounds and 5.1 ounces. So that would round up to 6. But I'm going to go ahead and round it up again. I'm just going to say 8 ounces. And the box, it was 25 and a half. So I'll say 26, 21, and 11. Alright, let's see the damage. So that's the updated weight, dimensions, and updated price, $36.58. Compensation up to $100. That's the insurance that UPS will provide if it's damaged. You can do a claim and get up to $100. Scroll down. I'm on the phone, but I'm going to print it from the computer. We do have a wireless printer, but it's just not hooked up to my phone currently. You can see the amount that if you just took this to the UPS store, they would charge $76. That's kind of crazy. And now, so here's what I paid, $36.58. The buyer paid $28.87. So I'm out $8, which I'm fine with, just because I know that at least this box is going to get there safely. If I had used a smaller box, it would have been less, definitely. But I'm happy with this. I'm going to press purchase shipping label. And we got the label purchased. So now you would print the label. You can save the label to your phone. And there you go. Full disclosure, you could probably tell it's the next day because I just realized that I shaved today. So it's going to look weird as it cuts to me shaved. But it's the next day. My camera ran out, so I couldn't record this end part. I've already shipped it, sent it out, dropped it off to UPS. And so today I wanted to go over how much I made. Total order was $192.56. That's how much the buyer paid in total. The item price, $149.99 plus $28.87 in shipping, and then they paid $13.70 in sales tax. So $192.56. eBay takes the tax. Selling costs $25.81 in eBay fees. The shipping label was $36.58, and that just went UPS ground. And then the ad fee, it was a promoted listing, so the ad fee was $5.78. So all in, eBay sent me $110.69. Nice. So I paid $8.99 for the unit at a Goodwill, and then I paid $10.95 free shipping for the remote. Which is crazy. I paid more for the remote than I did for the unit, but it was definitely worth it to get the remote. So 110 minus, we'll just say 20, so $90 in pure profit. Like, that's pretty good. I mean, I think I probably spent like 3 hours total working on it, so $30 an hour. That's not bad. Not every VCR Combo Player or VCR, DVD, Blu-ray, whatever you find, not everyone's going to be this good. There's a lot of them that go for like 50, 60, 70 range. I probably wouldn't sell those just because, I don't know. To me, it's not really worth it. I'm only a part-time seller, so I like to maximize my profits. So to recap everything. Step 1, source the item. Thrift store, Goodwill, Salvation Army, whatever you got around you. Yard sale, rummage sale, anything like that. If you buy it at a yard sale, there's probably no return policy. But if you do buy it at like a thrift store or something like that, check out their return policy. Be aware of it. Let that factor in how much you're going to spend on it if you can't test it there. Step 2, thoroughly test it and clean it. Put a DVD in it, VCR, Blu-ray, whatever it's going to take. Use all the ports that you can, the HDMI, the component ones, whatever you got. Use them all. Use it for a while. Push all the buttons. Make sure everything works. Step 3 would be list it. Take really good pictures. The best pictures you can do, the better the pictures are. It makes a big difference, having good pictures. Describe any flaws that you have. Really get your listing down in there good. Like, make it seem good, not just the title as the description. And then I do calculated shipping. Some people do free, but if you're doing the calculated shipping, make sure you have at least an accurate weight in there and a semi-accurate dimension. Weigh it, and then add some poundage for the box. That box that I used was 4 pounds. So put that in a factor. Step 4, after it sells, or you can do it before it sells, but package it. Use a nice box. Pay for a box if you have to. Factor that into the cost when you comp the unit. So Bubble wrap, don't use only paper. If you use only paper, it's going to get destroyed. I can pretty much guarantee it. So bubble wrap, styrofoam, those pool noodles are a really good idea if you can get them at like the dollar store or something. They really help. Get it in there securely, take the time to do it right. The last thing you want is to deal with a return or something like that because it was damaged in shipping. Yeah. And then step 5, profit. That's pretty much it. If you have to deal with the return, it sucks, but just work with the customer. Definitely try to work with them as best you can. Some people have free returns, all that. If you're selling on eBay, you do take returns. Even if you say no returns, you take returns because they can say item not as described and you'll accept the return. So just be aware of that. That's it for the video. Hopefully you learned something new. And that you can use this skill to make some side income. A pretty easy way to do it, I think. It's a nice thing to do every once in a while. I've had this unit for a while and took my time in selling it, and there's nothing wrong with that. So whether you're full-time, part-time, just keep doing it. Do what you like. So that's all I got. Check out our other videos. Like, comment, subscribe. See ya.